The Switch 2 is almost 2 months old. Can you believe that? Like, it feels like yesterday that we were talking about the Switch 2. I was making the point that I'm boycotting it, and does it still count as boycotting if you have played the system? Because, like, for a while, I would just not watch any Mario Kart World content. I would avoid anything about Donkey Kong Bananza, because if I even give them any free advertising like that, it feels like I'm giving in. You know, I'm giving into the machine. This whole thing has not just been an exercise in principle, it's been an exercise in self-control. And a reminder to myself that I don't need video games to be happy. And I'm not saying I quit playing video games altogether just because of the Switch 2, but it's really not that bad to not have a Switch 2. And I know, like, later down the line, Splatoon Raiders, Splatoon 4 are going to come out. Maybe some other games I might be interested in. There may even be a Waluigi game waiting for me sometime down the road. But seriously, I don't need the Switch 2 to be happy. And that feels good to say, and to know it for a fact. That being said though, I'm not gonna get into a bunch of Switch 2 bashing today, because really what I want to talk about is Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bananza. For context, my brother got a second-hand Switch 2 Mario Kart World bundle for less than the original price of the console. And he also got Donkey Kong Bananza second-hand for a pretty good price. So those two things combined, I was able to play Mario Kart World multiplayer, and I was able to watch him play through Donkey Kong Bananza. Let's start with Mario Kart World. The obvious thing I'm going to say is that intermission tracks are not very fun as a replacement for regular three-lap courses in Grand Prix, or as a replacement for 3-lap courses online in the Versus mode. Grand Prix could easily have been like the classic mode of Mario Kart World, and then Knockout Tour would have been where all the intermission tracks come into play, but that would have made too much sense. Speaking of Knockout Tour, very fun mode. Genuinely, very fun mode. I love knockout modes in any racing game, and it being in Mario Kart just makes a lot of sense. And with 24 racers, it just has an even grander feel to it. So I like it. I really do. But I will say, having the race between the last four be just one lap of the last track feels too short and a little bit anticlimactic. Because usually when you're on the final lap of a race, you still have all the people on the field, so items are still flying everywhere, anything could happen at the last moment. But when there's only 4 people on the track, there's a lot less room for crazy last-second plays. And as much as I hate when Mario Kart is just decided at the last second in the final lap, I can't deny that that also makes it more fun when I get the comeback victory in the last minute of the final lap. So, you know, that's part of the game. It's frustrating as much as it is exciting, but it's part of the game. Speaking of frustrating, though, items. The items in Mario Kart World can be very, very frustrating. And, of course, Mario Kart items in general can be very frustrating, but it's really telling that I have not a lot of Mario Kart for a good while. And then a few days of playing Mario Kart World here and there, and like all the same frustrations were still present. I still hate red shells that move really fast. I still hate getting blipped with a green shell out of nowhere. I still hate when I don't get a banana in first place because I get a coin or a feather instead. But honestly, like, those things are things I've come to expect from Mario Kart, and they're part of what makes the game exciting, interesting, and variable. And, you know, randomness is randomness, and it's part of the game. It's part of the fun. It's part of the chaos, and it's part of the frustration. But one thing I can't really get over is throwing bombs and bananas forward in this game feels like I'm throwing a piece of paper compared to throwing bombs and bananas forward in any other Mario Kart. I still hate getting my stuff stolen by Boo, but honestly, it's not as frequent as it felt in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, so I'm fine with it either way. And honestly, it's not even that bad of a mechanic. It just, obviously, when it happens to you and you're already in a tough spot, it's frustrating. But anyway, beyond all of that though, the ultimate question is the game worth $80? Should someone buy it separately? And I would certainly say no. My biggest reason for that is not necessarily the intermission tracks. Even when Nintendo patched out the good chances of playing a random course for the 3-lap races instead of the intermission tracks they wanted you to play. Because you can find Discord matchmaking when it comes to online races and classic 3-lap races. But what you can't do is play Renegade Roundup. Every good thing they did with battle mode in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is just gone. All of it. Just gone. The one good addition they made to this battle mode was making it so that you can get eliminated in Balloon Battle again, and you lose all your points. Full stop. You don't get your points for that round. Coin Runners haven't played, don't intend to, doesn't look fun at all, never has been. But yeah, those are the only 2 battle modes. You can't mess with the timer at all, you can't get rid of the timer. The courses are so-so, but honestly, I've never been a stickler for what a good battle course looks like. I just know when I'm not enjoying it. So yeah, Mario Kart World, perfectly fine $50 Mario Kart. It's a perfectly fine Mario Kart. It's just not an $80 Mario Kart by any stretch of the imagination. And I don't think playing free roam would ever change my mind on that. Now you want to talk about a game that surprised me with how much it is worth its price. Donkey Kong Bananza. I watched my brother any percent this game, and to me it was still a $70 experience. I'm dead serious. We haven't even hardly started on the post game yet, and I'm still convinced this game is $70. Like, Donkey Kong Bonanza is actually a $70 game, and if you have a Switch 2, it would be worth your time. Trust me, it's worth your time and money. I will eat my words. It's a better game than Super Mario Odyssey. It made me so happy just to watch it, let alone I'm sure my brother really enjoyed actually playing it for himself. He and I basically just went through it together from start to finish. He didn't play without me in the room for the most part, except when I got up to use the bathroom or something. I won't spoil anything. Try to avoid spoilers if you've been trying to. Continue to. I will not make that any harder for you. All I'm going to say is, for those who are on the fence about the game and whether it's actually worth $70, the ending is worth every extra penny compared to Mario Odyssey. I'm telling you, where Super Mario Odyssey's ending will leave you confused, disgusted, and possibly even tearful, Donkey Kong Bonanza's ending is satisfying, and then it not only meets your expectations, it exceeds your expectations, and then straight up challenges the expectations that were already raised. Like, the ending just keeps getting better. Like, I can understand how for some people it might have been ending fatigue, but for me personally, it was the sickest thing I ever experienced. And again, I didn't even actually play it. On that subject, that also gives me confidence that watching a playthrough of Splatoon Raiders will still allow me to have a lot of fun with it. Now, I will say, watching my brother play it, he and I being able to talk to each other while he plays, did add to my enjoyment some, but not that much. Because, yes, we got to experience it together. Yes, we got to make the references and make jokes and things like that. But really, it wasn't like cracking a ton of jokes was what made the experience enjoyable at all. You know, the game's music, the game's art style, the game's dialogue, all those different things. And, of course, the characters, all of that, like, the actual parts of the game were the things we were enjoying, not just, you know, having an excuse to make jokes with each other. So I am confident that Splatoon Raiders, if it's genuinely a good game, will be fun for me to watch just as much as it will be for someone else to play. So I'm excited about that, and by extension, probably the same thing with Splatoon 4 story mode. I have even less of a reason to buy a Switch 2 now, so I am very happy and somewhat vindicated. So, yeah. That's all I really have to say. This is your August 2nd video. This is your video for this week. I'll try to go back to weekly uploads, but no promises, as I'm going to be starting a master's degree very soon. If I'm not able to upload a bunch, you'll know why. See you guys later.